Queen's speech today is set to include the planned bill to ensure that young people stay in educational training until they're 18. Estimated figures suggest that 11% of 16 to 18-year-olds are currently not in education or training or employment or needs. This group is rapidly changing as young people move in and out of their last activity, either because they've dropped out or because it's finished. Labour's policy is to try and ensure that this number of young people re-engage into the system as quickly as possible. The problem is how to enforce this. It's not like you can take registers of those in training or apprenticeships. The government's trying to make sure that young people leave education with the skills they need to enter the competitive modern-day workplace, where there's 40,000 less unskilled jobs available than there were 40 years ago. The Conservative spokesperson for education, Michael Gove, has suggested that the policy could mean that there are more disruptive students kept in training and education for longer, which could have a detrimental effect on the performance of the other students. We spoke to a few people to find out what they thought. So do you think it's a good idea to raise the school leaving age to 18?
Not necessarily, because I think some people are just not the school people who rather want to learn something first. I think it's important to offer them a chance to get to school later again, to decide after they've had training to then say, oh, I'd like to do my A-levels or stay at school a little bit longer. I think that's important, but not necessarily to force them to stay in school until 18. I don't think that's necessarily a good idea.
I think it's important for the state to offer the children or teenagers some kind of training. You know, so up until the age of 18 they may have the opportunity to do an apprenticeship or learn some kind of career. And okay, to make it compulsory would increase our workforce and would sort of give the people who are perhaps less inclined to stay in education and the academic side of things the opportunity to also start a career, have some kind of jobs.
I heard on the radio yesterday that it's mandatory that people have to do it, so I'm not sure about that. I think it's a good idea to keep as many people as you can in education, whether it's vocational training or academic training. But I'm not sure that making it, by legislative means, making it compulsory is a good idea.
Do you think it will raise the problem of disruptive children or disruptive young students staying in the classroom and kind of bringing down?
No, I wouldn't worry about that. I'm just not sure how you would force, if someone didn't want to stay in the classroom, I'm not sure by what means after 16 they'd force them to stay.
So what do you think would be a better way to encourage people to stay in training?
I'm not sure. I think if they increase the amount of vocational courses and maybe like open up academic courses and not concentrate so much on A-levels and stuff, like baccalaureates and stuff. But I just don't think that forcing people to do it is the right way to go about it, and I'm not sure how they would enforce it anyway.
I'm not sure if it is a good idea. I think it's quite good that the leaving age is 16, because then you can go to sixth form college or not. And quite a lot of people I went to school with didn't want to, and it worked out fine for them, so I don't see why you should have to stay until you're 18.
I do think there's a problem with keeping potentially disruptive young people, kind of forcing them to be in a system that they don't want to be in.
Possibly, yeah. It might be beneficial for them, but then it might cause a lot of problems for the other students, so I think you have to consider the sort of benefits.
Okay.
Thanks.